Hello mates, my name is Risk and welcome to Cooking Companion. This is a game I just came across on Steam out of the blue, out of nowhere, and it kinda caught my eye. And when I looked into it, I definitely saw it really doesn't get dark at all. It doesn't get dark, there is nothing creepy about it, and it's just pure fun. It really doesn't get dark at all. Okay? This game is not suitable for children or those who are easily disturbed. Do you wish to continue? Like I said, I already checked. Really nothing strange. Nothing dark at all, so I don't see why they need such a... I mean, I know everybody's such a snowflake today in today's day and age, so... Yeah. Gregor. That was a brutal, but this cabin is amazing. Full kitchen, running water is really has everything. Finally, a place I can read a book in peace. I can't wait to... Achoo! I'm sorry everyone, it must be the dust. Get those allergies under control, Maria. Don't worry guys, I'm sure with a little elbow grease we can make this cabin shine. So, are you volunteering to clean, Gregor? No. Not many supplies here. Guess we'll have to go out to get what we need. There's a fireplace for making stew, so let's gather up some firewood, okay? Leave that to me, little guy. I'll tidy up the cabin. Need to save Maria from dying due to dust. Karen, she's so nice. I also have dust allergies, so I really can appreciate that. Hey! Allergies are nothing to joke about, Karen. She's not dead yet, Peepsqueak. Calm down. Thanks, Anadali. I think I'll go foraging outside. With over 450 mooses, 900 fungi, and 70 slime molds, there is bound to be treasure up here. Roughing it is fun, and Natalie knows so much about edible foods. We're in good hands. I think the slime molds will be the most delicious. Most certainly not. What about the fungi? Do you even know which ones are poisonous, Natalie? I could figure that out. You can't be the canary in the coal mine, Anali. I'm not ending up a corpse here. Yeah. Keep both your eyes open, little guy. Plenty of wolves and brown bears around. They won't be a problem. I read up the different techniques to incapitate them. Number one is, Anali! Yeah, sorry, Maria. Get carried away again. I'll help Anali look for food. I'm definitely better at warding off wild animals. If we come up empty-handed, we can always eat some of the food we've brought. You mean the emergency rations? Bad idea, chump. Hey, Natalie and Maria are getting the food. Gregor is gathering the firewood. That makes you our designated chef. Everyone's looking at you expectantly. You nod. Me? Is for me? Very excited to try your cooking. Alright everyone, let's get to work while there's still sunlight. Later. Oh, whoa. Maria, that slide. And Natalie, Gregor, the three exit the cabin, leaving you and Karen alone. I think Natalie put the supplies in the kitchen. Thanks for helping out with the cooking. Tutorial. To save the game, right-click and hit escape button on your keyboard. Save the game. This menu will also allow you to adjust volume levels or exit the title screen if it's too hard. Please note, going back to the main menu or exiting the game without saving will remove progress you've made. Be sure to save. Do you have any experience making meals? Of course. Okay, probably not. I'm extremely lazy. Extremely lazy. Say nothing. Be a ghost. I'm gonna play it cool. I gotta impress Karen over here. Is that so? Humph. Looking at you, I think you'd be good at serving up food poisoning. Right? It looks like Karen will remember that. Anyways, going to check out the living room. Let's talk later. Karen heads out to the living room and starts dusting a little. You decide to look around the kitchen to find the ingredients for the meal tonight. Tutorial. You'll never know what you'll find around the cabin. Clues and secret may be revealed by searching the area more than once. Why not give it a try? What area do you want to search it first? Let's start with the cupboards. The first cupboards are empty. Natalie must have put the supply somewhere else. Alright, let's check the cupboards again. They said just some mouse and cobwebs. The cupboards again. You check up the cupboards under the sink. You found a dead mouse. There we go. Finally, some good fucking food. This would be a great gift to give to Karen. Added the dead mouse into inventory. More cupboards. You put the dead mouse back in the cupboard. Karen's not ready for the dead mouse yet. Take him back. You notice the letter L engraved on the left side of the cupboard. What a fitting gravestone for the mouse. Alright, I think that's enough cupboard. Behind the wood pile, there's nothing but cobwebs back here. Thankfully, no spiders. You look at the wood logs. This is just a pile of Norway spurs. The Norway spurs won't burn as hot as logs from an oak tree. These would be useless during a snowfall. You reconsider your views on Norway spurs. It's less dense and won't fill the cabin with a heavy smell. The supplies aren't anywhere near here. Alright, the drawers. You check the drawers on the left. Just some dirty knives. You check the drawers above the mouse hole. You kind of mold is growing in this one. Maybe Karen will find it appetizing. You check the drawer above the wood pile, and what do you know? Something is making it difficult to open. You pull it with all your might, and damn!
Cabbage!
Oh, Dios mío. Why is the cabbage talking? It's time. Compete. Sounds off. Never fear. Onion is here. Like my cousin Cornbread says, I'll rise to the occasion. Always Mary, raspberry. Please stop. Please tell me the potato doesn't have anything to say. Potato? Yeah, please don't cooperate with these guys. Cabbage stuffed me into this drawer. I'm pretty sure this counts as kidnapping. Don't make me cry. Or is it the onion? Or the comfits? Why talk with these boring humans? All they have to give you is drama. Come chat with us instead. We'll share valuable recipes you can cook up. We'll share with you our secret competent recipe. Collect them all to become a 5-star chef. Potato? Tutorial. You can find unlock recipes in the main menu under extra, but be sure to save the game. Oh, cool. So I can have like a thing that is separate from the game, right? I can save, but it's always in the main menu, and if I collect them all... Nice. To celebrate, here's your first recipe card. Roasted eggplant with sesame and prognate meat-free. You unlock your first recipe. If you ever want to talk, just come to the drawer. Jump it! Let's move out! Go, 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 cook! Weirdos. Cabbage rudely slams the drawer closed on your fingers, no less. You wonder if what you saw was just real. You're slightly worried about what this means for your mental state, but only slightly. Hey, did you find the supplies? You shake your head. And Natalie lied. He actually put them in the bedroom. Idiot. Here you go. You got the emergency supplies. Karen leaves you alone. You start a fire with some of the wood and get back to work cooking dinner. Tonight's entry, a vegetable stew. In a large soup can over medium heat, you heat some water with potatoes, carrots, and celery in it. 15 minutes later, you drain the pan and set the vegetable aside. Placing some butter in the saucepan, you melt it over the medium heat. Throwing some chopped onions in, you cook it about 10 minutes. The onions are tender and translucent. Perfect. You next mix in some flour, salt, pepper, and heavy cream into the saucepan, adding the vegetables into the mixture for some amazing seasoning. Hours pass. We're back. More firewood than you'll ever need, yeah. We found some animals, some wild squirrel. Maybe tomorrow we'll have a bigger bounty. Oh wait, you're not even cooking him. He's just on your shoulder. Why is he on your shoulder? Okay. And Natalie's burying the lead. We saw a red deer. Maria spotted it. Yeah, that's great. Anyways, killed 17 spiders today while you were out looking for a deer, nerds. That should come across as no surprise. There are over 160 species of spiders here. 160? Don't worry, Maria. I'm sure they were all in the bathroom or something, you know. No. Almost all of them were near the couch. I was going to sleep on that couch. That's where 16 of them were. I'm not sleeping on that couch. And there's only 2 beds in the bedroom. Don't sweat it, Maria. I can sleep anywhere, so I'll sleep in the rocking chair. I'll sleep with one eye open just in case any of them swarm the couch. Thanks, Gregor. Karen and Natalie, you two take the bedroom. Thanks, big guy. Joke's on you, Gregor. I always plan on taking down one of the beds. Hey, Natalie, I snore louder than a lumberyard. Sweet dreams, chump. You turn it back to your bubbling vegetable stew and try a bite. Is it amazing? I don't know. I haven't really tasted it. This tastes pretty good. You cooked vegetable stew. You set the table and ask everyone to dig in. Num num num. I don't know why I did that. Oh wow, this smells delicious. Oh, thank you. Oh wait, that's him. Thank you. You must be a world chef class. Karen takes a bite. It's bland as hell. Karen, what the? Tastes like every other vegetable stew I've ever had. So generic. Could probably use some meat next time. Gross. For a side dish, we could make some bread and utilize the Fragria vesca, also known as strawberries, for some jam. Nobody cares, pipsqueak. Everyone laughs at Karen polite ribbing. Nothing makes you happier than cooking a great meal for friends, and everybody's having fun. This could very well be the best day you have ever had in your whole life. Would you believe it? You go to bed stuffed. Day 0. Day 1. Uh-oh. It's pretty dusty in here, isn't it? Hey, you up? How'd you sleep? I was so warm last night I didn't even need a blanket. Yeah, of course, big guy. Whoa! Oh, what time is it? About 1 hour until dawn. Will you two pipe down? Trying to sleep over here. Gregor, the birds outside aren't making much noise yet. We didn't bring many supplies, remember? Better to get a head start on gathering wood. I honestly can't see the trees outside right now. Gregor, did you see any spiders last night? There was a small one in the bathroom. Actually, I did see a centipede by the sink. Maria turns a little pale. Karen messing with you, Maria. Let's find some wild sorrel today. If you're a lucky little guy, maybe I'll teach you how to catch some wild brown trout. What's with you and meat, big guy? Another herbalism book started that there's many more species of plant to eat out there. Let's leave the fish alone. You know I'm not into meat. That's a shame. I'd wake up early to go fishing. Cheer up, Karen. We'll get to observe the trout at the very least. Maybe we'll see some more red deer today. That sounds like a waste of time, Gregor. Maybe we'll find some blackthorn berries. I love blackthorn berries. Huh. We'll be back later. Can you watch our stuff today? Thank you. Thanks. Huh. Don't steal anything, okay? I won't. Maria, Natalie, Gregor, and Karen leave the cabin to the hop their step. You're alone, but thankfully you have a drawer of jump bits to keep you company. Tutorial: each day you'll be asked to explore a different part of the cabin. You only get one choice. Then the day will end. Choose wisely. What do you want to do to check out today? Alright. I feel bad about Karen. 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 Maybe we should go to the basement. Check out the bedroom. Look around the bathroom. Going to the basement. Going to the basement. This door goes into the basement. There is no reason to go into the basement right now, though. You wait for the others to return. God damn it, there was nothing there. No, I'm loading. There was nothing in the basement. Chipskate. I'm gonna talk with the trumpets.
Hello.
You almost crapped yourself. Holy shit, it's a cabbage. The other trumpets are somewhere in the basement. So it's just us today. How about some fun cabbage facts?
Yeah.
Great! Cabbage has 24 calories and 100 grams, and it's a great source of vitamin K and C. Purple cabbage has even more vitamin C than green cabbage. Would you believe it? Maybe you should ask Natalie why that is when he gets back. Globally, Russia eats the most cabbage. Pretty cool, right? I should have been a scholar instead of a world-class comedian. Since you've been so patient today, I will give you Chumpet's secret recipe for Levin-style doubly. I got an achievement for that. Not your normal meal, but I think you'll enjoy it. I'm not sure. To check the recipe, go to the main menu under gallery. Be sure to save beforehand. Well, my work here is done. You know what? I am gonna do that. I am gonna title screen. Well, my work here is done. Chumpets! Mosey out! Can you put me in the drawer? I want to surprise the others later. You're extremely relieved that the cabbage has stopped talking. Shut the drawer as per her request. You look over the supplies and start planning your next meal. We're back! Hee. Knock it off, Maria. It's pretty rare to be scared of one. It's not. Who knew the big guy will be scared of? Shh! Shut up! You don't understand. I don't think anyone understands, Gregor. It was just a marmot Gregor, not a monster. Maria laughs so hard that your ears ring. Tears rolling down Maria's cheek. She's laughing so hard that she's about to hyperventilate and die. Stop Maria from hyperventilating? Absolutely not. One less mouth to feed, right? You don't get it. It's pretty personal. Then please explain, big guy. Go ahead, spill the beans, cool head. Mary looks incredibly uncomfortable. Hee, let's leave him alone. We found some raspberry and elderberries near the cabin. Quite a selection of berries, if you ask me. We also found some wild sorrel. Is this going to be enough for a good meal? Everyone is looking at you for an answer. You decide to do an inventory of all available ingredients. It takes you a while, but you decide on your specialty, cabbage rolls. Yep, I'm definitely gonna kill somebody. Your first, bring a large pot of water to boil. You let the cabbage leave boil for 2 minutes, draining the pot into the sink. In a medium mixing bowl, you combine some cooked rice, onion, an egg, salt, and pepper, along with some tomato sauce. You use your hands to mix thoroughly and decide to wash your hands after it won't come off. Dividing the rice mixture evenly between the cabbage leaves, you then roll them up and tie a string around them so they stay in one piece. You place the cabbage rolls in a large skillet over medium heat, pouring the rest of the tomato mixture over the top. Covering it, you bring it to a boil. You reduce the heat to low and let the cabbage rolls shimmer for about 40 minutes, being sure to baste it with the liquid. You cooked cabbage rolls. That looks amazing. Maria looks optimistic, Karen looks skeptical, and Natalie looks curious, and Gregor looks thrilled. You watch intently as everyone takes one bite. What's wrong? Maria. That's pretty darn good. Damn, that's shit good. Whoa, I could have eaten the whole batch myself. I think the vegetable stew tasted better, but I'm loving how tender the cabbage is. The sauce is pretty red. Reminds me of blood. Did you use fresh tomatoes? It really adds to it. Spoon some of the liquid on top of it and you'll thank me later. Incredible. It's definitely growing on me now. Thanks again for cooking. This really was something special. Everyone leaves the dishes behind for you to do. But I'm gonna do it without complaining. Would you believe it? Not happening. You settle in and go to bed. Everyone goes to bed full. Tomorrow will be another great day. Day 2. By the way, leave a like on the video if you'd like to see more of this game. If I don't happen to do all the endings in a single sitting again. Good morning, everyone. How the fuck do you sleep? Again, Gregor. Can't you let us sleep in? Not today. Nuh-uh. Today's a special day. It is no motherfucking food day and we have to get some food. Why? Storm clouds are gathering outside. We need to find some food before it begins to downpour. Gregor, you're overreacting. We have enough food to last us a while. Enough food? I thought we used most of the supplies for last night's dinner. He's right. The meal you made was delicious, but it used a lot of what we had. Gregor also correct. Precaution is usually high in this area. Precipitation is usually high in this area, with many areas being high risk for flooding. It'll be foolish to not go out and look for food today. You really think it will flood? Thankfully, the cabin is on a high ground, but that doesn't mean we're safe from flood waters. It's always a possibility, so it can't hurt to be prepared. You're losing it, Gregor. Karen, there's nothing to worry about. I think Gregor's right, Karen. Huh? It won't hurt to prepare for the worst. Humph. I think she's right, Karen. Fail to prepare? Prepare to fail. Stupid squirrel on his shoulder, what? Natalie, let's go out and prepare for the storm. Foraging should be a key priority today. There are plenty of edible foods and it has better odds than trying to hunt. Give me a few minutes and I'll plot out our route on some paper. Let me help, little guy. And Natalie and Gregor head to the bedroom to consult the map. Mary and Karen are still hanging around. Tutorial. Unfortunately, in life, you can't make everyone happy. When given a choice to speak to a character, choose wisely. You can only select one of them. Try to max out your bond with a certain character for unique dialogue and scenarios. Which one would you like to talk to? Maria. Maria is paging through some of the books on the bookshelf. You walk over to her. There are some great books here. Which one is your favorite? The romantic one. Oh yeah? I read a few random pages. Seems pretty melodramatic. Why is everyone crying all the time? It's the crafting one. Haha, me too! Metallurgy is so interesting. I'm curious about what alloy composition our cauldron is. I haven't seen one like that before. Anyway, great choice! You think Maria will remember that? Will she remember that? I don't know. I think so. My relationship. It's stronger. How? Didn't know you were so smart because you like the same things as me. You know? If you didn't like something that I like, you wouldn't be smart, but... You know? Let's talk again later, okay? Blush. You hear a cheer from the other room. Sounds like the two are wrapping up their meeting. Gregor and Natalie come back from their meeting. Gregor is blushing slightly. Hey, can you cook something while we're out? Thank you. Alright everyone, we have a new route now. Let's beat those rain clouds. Go! Go! Food! The group leaves, determined as ever. You have the cabin all to yourself. Or at least that's what you thought. What's that noise? Sounds like coming from the kitchen. Please, no, it's the freaking cabbage again. Don't! Radio? What's going on with the radio? You didn't even notice it on the ground when you walked in. Did somebody leave this radio here? It looked newer than the thing you've seen before. It seems to be broken though. Better hold on to this. You got a strange radio. Before you cook dinner, watch it you check out. Not the fucking kitchen, that's for sure. I don't want to... No. I'm checking the bedroom. No, that's where Karen stays. I'll look around the bathroom. You remember an old tale about a child who said a killer's name 3 times into a mirror. A killer's name? Cabbage. 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 Okay. I'll stop with the dad jokes. But you can't remember how it ended, because he died. Everybody died. You're too frightened to even try it. Okay, that hits too close to home. You leave the bathroom a little more scared than when you entered. What if it's actually real? What if I say it 3 times and they actually come, you know? I don't want to die. Maria, back early. Hey. The others are still looking for food outside. And Natalie found some berries. But nothing that will feed all of us. Please don't tell the others. But I'm a little worried about our supplies. I crunched the numbers and we don't have enough food. Even if rationing to last if there's a big storm and we get stuck here. Maria seems disappointed in your inventory management. Can you try cooking with a little less this evening? Thank you. You've done such a great job with meals so far. You're very sweet. Is that blushing? Hee. Maria will remember that. Why is connecting to people feel so strange? Anyway. The music totally warrants that kind of dance. Maybe you can teach me to cook sometimes. Maria, we have to cook. Looking forward to it. Hey, you could hold cooking classes here someday. And have everybody starve because you use too much supplies. Rudely interrupted a tender moment. The others burst into the cabin. Don't be so down, everyone. We got tons of good berries. Jam is so bland without any sugar. Do you have any sugar? Yikes. That's a yikes for me. Turn that frown upside down, Karen, or I'm gonna do it for you. Who knows what tomorrow will bring? I'm not smiling for you, Gregor. You missed out. The sunset was really tremendous on our way back. How's hues of orange, red, even a little purple poking out? Red sky at night, sailors' delight. Red sky in morning, sailors take warning. So we can expect a sailor delight tomorrow? That's awesome! You're such an optimist, big guy. We must have walked a few miles today. Gorgeous sights. You could even see snow on the tips of the mountains. Oh, frankly, that sounds nice. I would actually like to do that kind of a hike. Did I hear somebody's tummy? The rumble sounded like a dying cough. You look from person to person, trying to determine who that was. Gregor? It was definitely Maria. Why? Did you not eat? Maria, I recognize that sound from anywhere. Guilty! Maria looks embarrassed, but the group laughs at her honesty. Except for you. You search your mind for something to say, but all you can think of is an old riddle. Those who have it do not want it. Those who have it at least succeed. Those who have it too long perish. When you feed it, it gets smaller. What am I? Dust? Try again, big guy. Everyone is pondering the answer. Maria's face lights up. Oh, I got it! I got it! Is it hunger? Correct. Yeah. Yeah, I was gonna guess that. So, what's in the menu tonight, chef? Nothing! Because we ran out of... Okay, not just yet. Bread and jam. You crush the berries in your small mortar and pestle, spreading on some crusty bread. I'm gonna remember that. You cooked raspberry jam and bread, and you got an achievement for that. Congratulations. The bread's a little, tough. Gregor, don't look a gift horse in the mouth. But this homemade jam is to die for. Sorry. No, you're right, Gregor. This bread stinks. Maria? Everybody laughs. You're not sure this could be called a meal, but this is what Maria asked for. But it got the job done. Everyone thanks you for the dinner and heads off to sleep. You go to bed wishing you had more. You have a strange dream. Something is riding on your back. Do I look like a goddamn truck? Get off my back! It's becoming a nuisance. You try to see it in the mirror, but you can't get a good look at it. You try almost everything, but it won't get off. The pain between your shoulder blades is getting worse by the minute. You wander away from the cabin, stumbling by a river to soak your pain in cool water. You didn't want things to come to this, but you've exhausted all other options. You swim out to the middle. Rocks on the bottom cut your feet. You slip and fall to your knees. You lean back, trying to submerge the thing underneath the waters. But it won't drown. It won't drown. It won't drown. You splash frantically, plunging your head beneath the water. The current takes you downstream and you try to swim into the shore, but it's no use. Water fills your mouth and nostrils. After a minute, you stop struggling against the current. As you gaze up the sky, you feel it leaving your back, drifting into the sky as you sink to the bottom. As you take your last gasp, you see what was on your back staring into your eyes. But you don't even have the air in your lungs to scream. You wake in a cold sweat. Yo, what the heck was that? Was that Santa Claus? I'm Jewish, I wouldn't know that. Just a dream. Wake up. Sorry, you were making strange noises in your sleep. What's going on, Gregor? Did the lightning wake you up? It woke me up. Tried to fall asleep, but so loud. Like, why is this loud? Let's just get back to sleep and talk about this in the morning. Wait a second, Gregor was right. It's actually brewing up to be a storm outside. Wait a second, look at the background. There is a picture of a storm. I feel like this is foreshadowing. Everyone nods in agreement and gets back to bed. Except for you. You can't fall back asleep, not after what you saw. You still have goosebumps from the nightmare. Karen's snoring is louder than a sawmill. What the heck? You find it very loud and very distracting. You don't sleep a wink. Everyone is now up and awake in the cabin. You hear the front door open and quickly slam shut. And Natalie sounds petrified. You gotta stretch for a moment. I looked out the door and we're completely surrounded by flood waters. Look like the sailor take warning was more appropriate for today. Maybe it'll clear up tomorrow. You can still be guy's optimism, Karen. Why the hell not? That's all he has going for him. He's also good at chopping wood, though. Knock it off, you two. Maria, do you think it'll clear up tomorrow? I give it a 27% chance of it clearing up tomorrow. Based on what? I was bored stiff, so I read book on local precipitation levels for the last 20 years in the living room. Sounds like you're stealing Natalie's thunder. Natalie, you're a book nerd, right? Why didn't you read it? Couldn't make it past the cover. Is that right? Yeah? That bookshelf has some great books on artisan crafting and natural sciences. Why let them sit there gathering dust? How did you arrive at a 27% chance of it clearing up tomorrow? It's easy. Take the time of year, multiply it by a factor of... Maria begins to explain meteorology to you. She isn't dumbing any of this down. It's similar to where. So the first thing you need to understand... Minutes of explanation feel like hours. You look over at Natalie. He's listening intently to Maria, of course he is. So intently he hasn't blinked yet. You can see his eyes drying up. A tear rolls down one of his cheeks. This is brutal to watch. Maria finally wraps up the lecture. She ends up with a bow. Nobody claps. Tough crowd. Maria, that was awe-inspiring. You lost me a few minutes in, but it's okay. I didn't understand a goddamn word. Would you believe it? And Natalie turns to you. Anyway, there's no telling how long this will last. We can't leave the cabin until these floodwaters stop. I know our food situation is a little tight, to say the least, but I know you'll make it the right decisions. I believe in you. Me too. Maria, are you okay? What was that? It looked like we have enough leftover berries for more bread and raspberry jam. I'll pass on the jam. Just give me some more crusty bread. Everyone laughs, except for you. You just realized 27% chance of the rain stopping leaves us with 73% chance of doom. With everyone stranded in the cabin, you need to keep everyone fed and happy. You sneak out to the kitchen while everyone's still talking. That's just unfortunate. You get out some crusty bread and get to work on making some more jam. With the kitchen to yourself, you decide to check in the chumpets. I'm gonna have to eat them. Hello. Don't worry, as leader of the chumpets, I'll make sure none of the humans know about us. That big guy will try eating me like an apple, so definitely don't tell them about us. Ha ha ha, that was so funny! Are you plans going Got another cornbread classic for you. Did you hear about the bread maker's bakery burning down? No? Her business is now toast! That's one been done to death. Do you know how raspberry and milk were introduced? No. Raspberry milkshake. We'll let out an audible groan. Did cornbread teach you that one? Nope. Wasted an entire day thinking about that terrible pun. Haha. It was well worth the time and effort, Raspberry. Maybe you'll win the annual trumpet comedy competition this year. Oh, tough. I heard the cabbage was the champion. Of course. That's why I'm here. I won't joke on stage this year. Isn't every year bread? We still talk about that closing line, bread. You're going to do great this year. Anyways, don't even think of eating us if you're hungry. Trumpets stick together through thick and thin. Rain or shine, feast and famine. Potato, I swear to God, repeat the line or we're locking you up again. Life or death? That's right! Trumpets! Move out! Go! The Chumpet somehow managed to close the drawer on themselves. You bring the crusty bread and jam into the living room. I would definitely not want to eat them. That would probably cause me some food poisoning. Karen interrupts as you bring in the food. Took you long enough. Karen looks at you, 2 slices of bread left in the mason of Joe raspberry jam. There is mold on these last 2 slices of bread. Then cut it out! Cut it out! Stop telling me there's nothing to eat. Okay, Karen? Karen? Not Karen. Karen is right. What the hell is the matter with you? You grip the knife tightly in your hand. You think this is enough for 5 of us? Wait, we can throw this bread away though. It's all we have left. Gregor's right. And Natalie, will mold spores give us food poisoning? I'm no scientist. Sorry. Let's pick off as much mold as we can. We can't leave with the flood water, so this will have to last us another day. Everyone grimly nods, ripping apart their piece like a pack of wolves. Gregor seems to unhinge his jaw and eat in one bite. He looks like a duck eating a bread. Thanks again. Bread and jam isn't much of a meal, but it's more than what we had when we left Ukraine. What the? Plenty of rainwater outside, so at least we won't die of dehydration. But until this storm is over, nobody should leave the cabin. Should clear up if we just give it a chance. And Natalie, where are you getting that information from? What are the books on the bookshelf about the climate here? You're illiterate, so that definitely is a lie. I've seen him reading. Little guy been studying. I'm serious. He pretends to read books because he wants us to think that he's smart. But I can tell he's just staring at the page, faking it. What do you think? Nobody look at a book and fakes it because you're already looking at a book. That's so stupid. Why, Karine? Where is all that knowledge going? You know what? Don't answer that. Another can read. I saw him with my own eyes. And even if I didn't, I know he did. You must be going blind then. Thanks. I don't know why Karen would make something up like that about me. You aren't fooling anyone, Natalie. Karen has stormed off. Well, guys. So, I know a way to get a lot of food. I just need you on board. Okay, I'm just joking, guys. I'm just joking. Thanks for backing me up there, pal. Oh! Big guy! I'll stop. Good to have someone so positive around. And Natalie looks relieved. You think he'll remember that? You'll think he'll save you when you're about to die. I guess let's call it a day. Yeah. Sure. Everyone shuffles off to their sleeping areas. 10 minutes later. By the way, you can't blame Karen too much. She barely had anything. Karine. You can't blame Karine too much. She barely had anything to eat. It's very important to know that, you know, she's storming, being angry at everybody. But that's because she's irritated. She's a big gal. She needs food. So, you know, it's even true for Natalie. He's gonna be starving eventually too. Hey, Karen likes to find somebody's weakness and use it against them when they're frustrated. Yeah, and also she's a bitch. I just wanted to thank you for backing me up earlier. You're very sweet to do that. And Natalie looks at you with a look of admiration. And little guy is like, nyeh. See you tomorrow. Nobody eats me tonight, that is. And Natalie looks like he's blushing as he walks away. You're definitely sure Natalie will remember that. Ugh. Okay, did I grow with a Natalie? I thought I grew with big guy. You get ready to bed and put out the blanket. You go to bed very hungry. Day 4. You don't dream the entire night, but you sleep through everyone waking up. And that's how fast a deer could run if startled. Whoa, what? Incredible! Impressive? I wish we had a deer here. With the food getting lower, let's just skip today's meal. That's actually a good idea. That's a really good idea. I'm pretty sure that's a good idea. Right? No! Okay, out of not eating, Gregor definitely has the most to lose. Because he's a huge guy. He needs food. It's only for one day, guys. Chill. Various cultures and religions have practiced fasting throughout history. That doesn't make us feel any better, Natalie. Listen, there is research supporting that it can be healthy if you do it okay. What options do we have? Our food wasn't rationed properly. And Natalie leaves, mumbling to himself. So passive-aggressive of him. I mean, he's hungry. Everyone goes to a separate area. Karen in the bedroom, Gregor in the living room, and Maria in the kitchen, and Natalie in the bathroom. Who do you want to speak to? Sorry, you know we have to protect Maria time. Oh, didn't hear you coming. Haha. I was just double checking if there was any food we might have missed. I mean, there is a dead mouse I saved. You know what? Let's leave him for another day. But I couldn't get the drawer to open. Could you give it a try? Great. While you do that, I'm gonna go get some more reading done. You think Maria will remember that? Ugh! Okay, I don't know why I keep doing this. Your relationship is stronger. Keep doing that and it will be solid as stone, which you can use. Later! Gee, I just opened a drawer. What the heck? You give the drawer a hard yank.
Hello.
Okay, where's the load? Is the thunderstorm keeping you up at night? You just need to roll with it. Raspberry whispers so quietly you lean over to listen to her. We need to talk soon. Please listen to me when the time comes. Anyways, please don't let the others see us.
Cabbage.
That's right, Raspberry. Part of being a chumpette is secrecy. We wouldn't want those pesky humans to overhear our meeting. Now, would we? You shake your head. Good. Chumpette! Go. Just get out of my sight. Okay, what was Raspberry talking about? What the heck was that? And why didn't she want cabbage, roll, and potato? Okay, I can understand why she doesn't want potato to listen. But cabbage and roll... Well, like, what does she have to tell me? Is there food? There might actually be another source of food. Everyone looks pretty down this evening. Oh, damn, look at him. Big guy. It's kind of hurtful to see him like this. Wish the rain would just stop. You're all doing great. We must be almost at the end of the nightmare. I'm so hungry. Me too. You are too. You wish everyone a good night and get ready for bed. You go to bed with a growling stomach. Psst! Wake up! I said, wake the fuck up! Okay, either I don't get enough sleep, or that's a floating raspberry. The rainfall is non-stop again. Did you have anything to do with these? No. You don't answer the question. Always thinking with your stomach, right? You should reconsider. Might save what little humanity you have left. At least I tried. I won't have a guilty conscience by the end of this. Go back to sleep, monster. What the fuck? Did I just get moral talked by a raspberry? Get the fuck back to your drawer. You easily forget about Raspberry's conversation. You have a strange dream, though. A boy is yelling at you in the kitchen. You keep telling him to lie down on the tray, but he keeps shaking his head, calling your names. So you do it. You lie down on the tray and make your body as flat as a board. You show him how it's done. His anger turns to courage, and he pushes you into the oven. As the stench of burning hair fills your lungs, you see him sneering back at you. You wake in a cold sweat. Whoa, what the fuck was that? That was... Those eyes, I can still see them. That was super creepy. You know, the previous one wasn't creepy at all. I was just kind of overreacting because I thought it was funny. But this one, I'm still overreacting because I think that's kind of funny. Because I don't really react to jump scares, but I'm still creeped out by that image. Everyone seems to be sleeping in the later normal. Their stomachs must have kept them awake all night. The rain is still pouring outside. You can barely make out the trees from the windows. You hear a stirring of blankets, arms and legs. Maria looks petrified. I couldn't sleep. And Ali has bags under his eyes. This storm is too loud. Karen looks out of it. The cabin was creaking so much last night. It sounded alive. Gregor looks a little grunt. I got a good look out the window. And? Couldn't see anything due to the rain. Great observation, Gregor. I was so hungry last night. I kept pacing around my bed. Karen turns to you. When is this going to end? I checked outside the door again and floodwater keep rising. Unfortunately, we're gonna have to stay put unless one of us wants to drown in rainwater. As soon as the weather lets up, we'll be able to scavenge for supplies. How close is the nearest town? I don't know. Didn't you have a map on you? I think I dropped it while we were running after Gregor. I'm sure it'll show up eventually. We're fucked! Marianne and Natalie go white as sheet. How are we going to find our way back now? Oh, well, we'll have to ride out the storm. We're down to our last slice of bread. I don't know how much longer we can put off eating. Hey guys, stop staring at me like that. Okay, I'll find a solution. It will clear up in no time. I love Gregor. He's so optimistic. Maybe you're right. The group looks worried. They all gravitate to an area. You can tell Gregor putting on a fake optimism and Maria is having trouble. Which one do you want to speak to today? Speak with Maria. Huh? It's cold as hell over here. I'm surprised Gregor isn't freezing to death at night. How does he do it? Maybe he has a lot of brown fat, or maybe he's just a really big guy that is an oven of himself. You explain to Maria how size of the person and fat content determine how warm they are naturally. Gah! Wish I was as big as Gregor. But to be honest, I don't need to be that tall to make a difference in the world. Oh, Maria, that's such a cool thing to say while you're starving to death. Do you know what he wanted to do for a career? Maria does her best Gregor impression. Split forward and gaze at the stars. How boring is that? Depends on the person, but pretty boring. You're so funny. I'm the one who made the joke, but you're the funny one. Thanks for coming in and chatting with me. Oh, is that a connection I hear? Maria blushes a little. You make it easier to pass the time. You're so cute I can eat you. Just joking. You're pretty sure Maria will remember that. Oh, is that a connection we hear? There you go. Almost as strong as wood. For Gregor to cut you in half and use you, and he eats you, he eats wood. I know you can eat wood, but it's not around here. It's a specific type of wood that has some nutrients, I think. Then again, I watched it on TV. TV can... not the best source of... don't go around eating trees. Don't listen to me. You thank her and leave the bedroom. Thank you for the connection. You call everyone together. They all look grim. Oh, guys, There's something painful about all of them looking at me, expecting something that I cannot give. I feel like I'm somehow responsible to these people's well-being. In a certain way I am. By cooking, they are making me kind of the leader of the rations, but... man, you call everyone together. They all look grim. You could cut the tension in the room with a knife. Can you cook it? If not, then don't cut it. Everyone is staring at you. Oh, I gotta save. They're gonna eat me. They're expecting that last piece of bread for dinner. You bring it out. Everyone cannot take their eyes off it. You instruct everyone to take a pinch. And slowly all 5 of you tear it apart like a wishbone. Everyone studies their piece of bread carefully, wondering how long it will last. Karen is the first to eat hers. She chews each bite a few hundred times before swallowing. That's really smart. By chewing more, it tricks the body to think that they're more full. And Natalie chews it cautiously, opening his mouth once he finishes each bite. Maria nibbles on it silently, eyes wide, moving from person to person. And Gregor. Gregor just pops it in his mouth like a cherry. It was gone in an instant. This is so sad. The group thanks you awkwardly. It's not much, but you've ran out of options. You wish everyone good night and get ready for bed. You go to bed starving. Day 6. Okay, here's the thing. If you're gonna go on without food, Karen and Gregor will definitely survive. Their body will naturally burn their muscle and fat for energy, so they can still survive. But I fear for Natalie and for Maria, they both have a small physique, and you can see they don't have a lot of meat on themselves. If they don't eat, they'll die. These two can survive, but they'll die for sure. Morning. Let me check. The rain has stopped. Oh no. It's still flooding. What are we going to do? Humans can live about 2 to 3 weeks without food. And Natalie, now is not the time. What reason you're concerned? Rainfall should end in a day or two, right? Gregor, at this point I feel like maybe we shouldn't talk about it, because I feel like we're jinxing it. I feel like it's bad luck at this point. Actually, precipitation can occur more than 250 days a year here. I really wish I didn't know that, Maria. But do you really think it will last that long? And Natalie, it's been days already. What makes you think it will stop? Optimism, obviously. Relax, everyone. Let's see how long we can ride this out. Fingers crossed it's done by tomorrow. Panic is slowly creeping in. Everyone's looking scared, but you need to survive. Karen and Gregor begin to discuss next option. Do you want to speak with Mary in the kitchen or Natalie in the living room? You know how we go. You know, Maria time. Wait, there was another option. Think instead about everything you've done wrong and how you've doomed everyone.
What did I do? I just cook food.
This is some moral shit that the raspberry gave me? Get that out of here.
I did everything absolutely perfect. There is no way I did anything bad.
Hey. Maria looks relieved to see you. The relationship is stronger. Now that you're both connected to each other, you'll die together happily. How are you holding up? Should I answer a question with a question? Not very good. Yeah, I've been having terrible nightmares at night. Children crying. Wait, I've been having the same dreams. Or at least, did I have the same dream in the game? Yeah, definitely. Scream coming out of the basement. I even had one where I was floating around, lunging at people, seeing their eyes full of terror. I don't believe in ghosts, but a dream made me feel like one. I don't like it here. Anyways, at least I'm not the one having trouble with this. Thanks. Hold on. I want to try other options. Better question, how are you holding up? Not very good. That's very sweet of you to ask. Maria looking at you intently. She gets a little closer to you. Maria? I noticed you didn't use any meat when cooking. Usually you have to pick it out of the food the others make. But you respected that. Thank you. Mary's looking at you with admiration. I need to speak with Gregor for a minute, but thanks again. Maria will remember that? That's a good thing? You decided to check out the drawer again. I kind of want to ask her one last question. So is it more difficult than Ukraine? I got an achievement. They call the wind. No, not as nearly as bad in Ukraine. My father was a farmer, extremely bright but extremely stubborn. After they took him, we struggled like other families, but people kept calling him a traitor, even after he was gone. Our village went mad from starvation after the rationing got extreme. Parents sending their children to orphanage instead of letting them starve at home. It was terrible, absolutely terrible. Eventually, we decided we needed to escape. So we stole supplies until we had enough for the journey. To keep our spirits up, Gregor described it as a vacation. You usually don't face death during a vacation, though. Thanks for listening. Maria saddens away, saddened by the memories. You hear Gregor calling everyone together for a meeting. All right. Out of all the options, I'm going to go with the one where, it says Maria will definitely remember that when we ask her how she's doing. So now I open the drawer again to check for food. Oh. What a terrible fate has befallen you, small potato. Where are the others, Mr. Potato? They'll be back. You wanted to explore the labyrinth of tunnels around the cabin. Surely you've seen the mouse holes, right? They connect all over the cabin. Must have been some mouse that created them. Or something worse. Anyways, I'm not going to sugarcoat this. You're fucked! Things are going to get worse from here on out. You have a feeling Potato is telling the truth. Well, what was that ambience? It sounded like it's literally next to me. You realize some drool is leaking out of your mouth. Disgusting. Don't even try to eat me. You're just deathly sick if you tried. And from the look of you, you need to retain all the water you can.
From rationing to cooking, you failed every common sense measure for basic survival this week. You knew something like this would happen, right? Never mind. With food waters rising and no food, with floodwaters rising and no food at all, I think it'd be great time to go over the fundamentals of starvation with you. When experiencing starvation, there are 4 factors that will determine if you live or die. Age, height, weight, and your degree of activity or inactivity. You've been especially lazy, so I think you'll survive a little longer than the others. The Harris-Benedict equation can help you figure out how many calories you need to simply maintain your current weight. The equation produces a number called the basal metabolic rate, or BMR in short. Stay with me here. BMR, 655 plus, 4.35x weight in pounds. Oh no, are we using inches and pounds? God damn it. 4.35 weight in pounds and 4.7 weight in inches minus 4.7 times age in years. I'm taking a screenshot of that just in case I need it for a really good ending. There we go. There we go. I saved a screenshot in case I need it. Got it? For fun, let's try it out on someone here. Maria, using Harris Benedict. She looks like she's 120 pounds, about 5 feet and 5 inches tall, about 20 years old. Crunching numbers, I think she's need about 188 calories daily, but that's being abnormally stationary. She'd have to lay in bed all day and night, just eating, breathing, and using her brain. Not very common when you're starving to death. People tend to get up more. If she was being very active, let's say swimming through the floodwaters, we need to multiply that calories by 1.9. So now she needs 2,638 calories per day. That's quite a difference, especially if you didn't ration the food properly. Which you didn't. I guess that wraps up our first survival lesson. Hopefully we'll never speak again. Okay? You shut a drawer, going over the numbers again. Does the person I have the most affection with, does Potato do that to whoever I... Or was that just a coincidence? I don't think any of us can take this much longer. Gregor's voice starts to crack. I don't want to be here to ask, but... it's time. One of us need to go outside and search for food. Everyone is silent. I'll go. No, 2006. No, dear. Maria? I used to swim all the time near my house, so I probably have the best chance of swimming through the floodwaters. No! Let me go instead. You won't get very far if anything happens to your glasses, Anatoly. You're blind as a mole rat. Remember? That's true, but... Little guy. Little guy. Let me go. Gregor, sounds good to me. Karen? His arms are definitely the longest. So he's probably the best at climbing trees out of all of us. No! That wouldn't be right. Gregor, let me go instead. I guess that none of these options sounds good ones. But we need to find food or help. Gregor grabs a branch from the wood pile. He cuts it into different measurement. Since we can't come to a consequence, let's draw for it. We'll each pick one from my hand. And the shortest will go outside to search for food. Whatever it is, please not Maria. I don't want to go through this. I'm saving the game. You're not worried about drawing. You saw Gregor cut the branch lengths, so you can tell which is the biggest one of the bunch. You pick it. You watch the others intently. Will it be Gregor? And Natalie? Karen? Will it be... I'm not gonna lie. I knew it was coming. That's what I get. That's exactly what I get. She's dead. Maria. Maria. It's okay. I saw Natalie forage earlier, so I'll know what to look out for. Just swim until you find higher ground, then scout the area. Maybe you'll find a fish out there. Everyone looks heartbroken. Karin, and Natalie, and Gregor, I'll keep us alive. I promise. She promised. Everyone watches as Maria leaves the cabin. The silence is deafening. Goodbye. You can faintly hear her yell about how cold the water is, and then silence. Was it really because... I'm sure we'll see her again. The rest of the group nods. Everyone stays up, waiting and waiting. The sun is completely set. One by one, each person quietly shuffles off to bed. I got an achievement. Oh no, you can see it. Usually you don't see the achievements. I was like, should I read it? I don't need to read it. You get ready for bed and easily pass out. You have a strange dream. The two women in front of you could be twins. One of them you recognize, the other is a guest. You ask the guest to sit on a shovel, and then you try pushing it into the oven. Her legs are so strong you can't get her into the oven. You curse at her repeatedly. Like this, you hiss. You stretch out your legs until your toes are almost sticking in the coals. You feel 4 hands on your shoulder and both of them push you. The familiar smell of smoke and burning hair cause you to throw up on the embers. You can't let it end like this. You rip the metal door off the oven, tearing through the wood logs of the cabin. Screaming, you chase the two through the woods. Your birds chill with the wind. The guest looks behind her, and her eyes widen when she sees you. She's terrified. You furry ribs tree out by the roots, soil from the ground, rocks from their pits. You've never been this angry in your entire life. Their stamina can't last forever. You're gaining on them. As you trample through a field of wheat, the guest throws a piece of cloth behind her. You catch the glint of it in the sun, golden. As if by magic, the earth splits in front of you, creating a chasm of fire below. You fall into the pit, screaming as your eyes begin to sizzle from the heat. Hellfire fills your lungs. You're unable to scream anymore. You wake in a cold sweat. Just a week in, and look how things are looking. If I was in their situation, I wouldn't send anybody out. I would take the chance. I would wait it out. Good morning. You think she made it to higher ground? I believe in Maria. Me too. She'll be fine. Right, little guy? So what do we do now? Just wait?
Karen.
How long? It's been almost a day since she left.
And Natalie and Gregor looks nervous.
Someone needs to go look for her.
We need to wait, Karen.
Wait for what?
The nearest town is miles and miles away. Waiting is all we can do for now.
So it could be days before she gets back? What are we supposed to eat? Mice?
Karen. I'm sure Natalie will agree, but we'll discuss next option when we get to it. Even the waking thought is about food now. I never should have eaten that much.
I am...
Karen's hands are involuntarily shaking. Gregor and Natalie just nod in agreement. They don't even need her to elaborate. You're sure Maria will make it back? She promised. Everyone retreats to their areas. What do you want to do today? Let's talk to Karen.
Is that a bone? Can we eat it?
Hey, you don't have to lie to me. I know Maria's not coming back. I don't know where she came up with her being the best swimmer. I guess the only one that would know would be a Natalie. Last summer, a Natalie would watch her swim for the shore. He could have been a lifeguard, such a good swimmer. She never went under, but if she did, he would have pulled her out easily. Why would you lie about something like that? Karen seems deep in thought. Maybe it's better to leave it alone. You close the door softly. I can't stop thinking about that vegetable stew.
I'd be fine with a bread and jam.
I'd be fine with just strawberries. Nobody else laughs. I would kill for some vegetables right about now. Kill. You would too. I'm going to try and get some sleep. Good night. Night. I mean, night. Day. Oh, you fall asleep quickly, but you only dream about desecrating a corpse. You wake in a cold sweat, in a completely different room.
What? How many calories was I burning while sleeping? Good morning.
Karen looking worse. Will you cook for the group today?
Oh. I think I know what it means. I can't say no. I'm so sorry, Karen. I'm so sorry, Karen.
Wait, where did I get that? Never mind, I thought I'm cooking her.
We had meat all this time.
Okay, what the heck is going on? You took out a cutlet of meat and begin to cook it. You cooked meat.
Where did you get that?
You ignore Karen's question.
What's that smell?
Gregor finally gets off the couch. Where did you? The three are looking at you, salivating. You take the charred meat out of the oven, cutting into small cutlets. They immediately grab some of the plate, chewing furiously. You take a piece and immediately devour it.
Do you have any more of this?
I got an achievement, a downward spiral. What? You explain how the meat is stored securely, hidden, so you can ration better this time.
I understand.
Thank you.
And Natalie runs to the bathroom, puking in the toilet. You can hear him sobbing for a few minutes. This taste is... Gregor wanders off, and Natalie returns looking choked up. I was too weak. Left you some of the meat. Don't fight this, Natalie. And Natalie takes a cutlet from the plate, turning his back to the group as he devours it. You can hear him crying. Was he too weak? Or was the meat just strange? Finally, my focus is coming back. I'm going to read some of those books. Keep them occupied, okay? Karen leaves you with the men. Who do you want to talk to? I'm kinda... Where did Gregor go? Wait, the room looks almost exactly the same, just without the bone.
Hey. Thanks for cooking the meat earlier. I was nearly passing out from the hunger pangs. Even if I'm meat and potatoes kind of guy, I appreciate the vegetarian dishes you made earlier. You really respected Marion's boundaries. Thank you. Gregor is more dense than you give him credit for. If there's extra, slip me some extra meat. Okay. Okay. Can I not? Nope. Okay. Gregor will remember that. I will be eaten.
Oh wait, no, we're friends. We're friends. He's not gonna eat me. We're friends. Why would he eat me? We're good. We're good.
Going to see how Natalie is doing later. It's kind of nice to see him back to like being his happy self with a little bit of meat. You have the bedroom all to yourself. Where do you want to check first?
Something about the mouse hole we heard.
Under the bed. There's nothing under the bed. Under the floorboards. Inside the nightstand. What is the nightstand? That? No. The birdcage. There is nothing in the birdcage. I can see that. If I can only choose one thing, I'd rather be like smart about it. I'm saving. My guess it would be the floorboard. You notice a bone sticking out. Is this a human bone? Nope, chicken bone. Gross. Under the bed. You look under the bed. Just some dust and hair. Gross. You decide to look longer. It's long, and you decide to spank one of the hairs. It's long and red. Has to be Karen's. You inspect another piece of hair. It appears to be black. Natalie? Found a small box in the corner. That must be in your imagination. There's nothing but the hair and dust down there. Better luck next time. The floorboards look a little loose. You could probably try to pull it up under. You're far too weak to pull that floorboard. Man, that small box in the corner joke. That's just playing on my mental. That's just evil at this point. Haha, you find an item, give you the jingle, and it's like, nah, better relax next time. This floorboard should really be repaired. I wonder if you could repair it yourself. Found a small sock. Somebody's foot out there is probably cold. A small sock is worthless. Why would you even pick it up? Inside the nightstand. Oh my god, it's an onion! Don't be a crybaby, it's just me.
Onion, boy.
Onion was just playing with some of the toys in the drawer.
Onion.
You're far too old to be playing with any of them. You're never too old for toys. Anyway, don't need to attend secret trumpet meeting. See you later. Oh, he needs to attend. Not don't need. Onion bounces out of the bedroom. Thank God. The drawer has various children toys in it. What's this? No taken. June 26, 1862. Another body of a child has been discovered within the city of Zakopane, with the remains stuffed into a barrel full of potatoes. The cause of death was identical to earlier victims, with significant blood loss due to multiple stab wounds to the stomach. This marked the fourth victim by the butcher of Zakopane in less than a month. One out of 5 notes. Hour pass. The meal gave everyone the perseverance to keep going. Eating will just make them hungrier. Yeah, that's the problem. You actually get less hungry if you don't eat for long periods of time. But if you eat, you actually get hungrier. They're fine now, but they'll soon be begging for more. We've waited long enough. What's for dinner? You calmly explain that you want to ration the meat better this time, and there will be no dinner. Fine. I understand. I guess I'd rather eat tomorrow than more today. No arguments. Perfect. Everyone decides to call it an early night. You fall asleep instantly tonight. You have a strange dream. You're having dinner with a blacksmith, but he's not touching his food. The only light in the room comes from the oven. He clears his throat, stroking his beard. I could forge anything, he says. Your eyes has been giving you issues lately, so you reply, forge me a new eye then. You laugh. But then the ropes come out. He ties you to the chair with a long rope to prevent you from struggling. You rip the rope apart without even trying, so the blacksmith uses a thick rope. No turning back now. He takes a hot poker out of the coals, holding it in front of his face, so you can see his beard and eyes watching you. He slowly brings back the poker, aiming carefully for your eye, before plunging it through your skull with a sickening crunch. The force of the blow throws you backwards a few feet. You're unable to break the ropes. You vomit all over your chest, as the smell of your decimated eye floods your nostrils. The blacksmith stands over you, spitting on your body. You wake in cold sweat. You wake up to see Gregor looking out of the window. He turns to you, not smiling. Take a look out the window. Do you notice anything? The whispering, I notice. The flood waters have receded a little bit, but everyone is still bound to the cabin. The trail used to be completely visible. It's gone now. Good morning, big guy. Will Maria make it back? This might sound a little crazy, but every night around 2 a.m. I can hear her outside. She makes this awful gargling noise like she's trying to get water out of her lungs. Have you heard that, Gregor? Sometimes when the rain gets faint, I think I can hear her whispering. I haven't heard anything like that. When she's whispering, it's like she's trying to tell us something, right? Yes. I'm actually getting goosebumps. I sometimes hear her crying through the radio. But that's just a broadcast. Right? I think we should have another piece of meat for breakfast. One step closer to Maria. It's what we should have wanted. What's gonna need to you, Natalie? And Natalie's eyes look at you begging. Bring us another slab, please. He clearly doesn't have the stomach for it. I can't get the taste out of my mouth. Please help me. And Natalie. Gregor looks pained at Natalie's words. I think he's right. Please bring us more meat. You grab some of the meat from your secret hiding place. You cut it into squares, adding it to the boiling cauldron water. It will taste bland without any seasoning, but you need to serve it up right away. What's taking so long? Boil it faster! It looks almost done. Patience. It's finally finished. Oh, I think I know what I'm seeing. I think I understand. Which is why I better save the game. You serve the meat in bowls. Gregor drinks the broth first before swallowing the chunks whole, like a duck does when eating bread. And Natalie creates ripples in the broth using the spoon he isn't eating. I'm sorry about earlier, everyone. I don't know what overtook me. Maria. And Natalie begins to weep. You look over at Karen. You didn't notice her even start to eat. There's just an empty bowl now. Karen is staring right at you. How much more meat is left? You explain how most of it is gone bad. This is the last of it. How could you be so careless again? You remember Karen's knife. You need to think fast. What the hell are we supposed to do now? Wait around again? This storm isn't ending. You clear your throat. And I look. Yes. I think tomorrow you should look for Maria. Or forage for plants outside. I think you should go, little guy. Nobody else can identify edible plants like you. Please, Natalie, please. You can swim back after a few hours. Gregory's right, Natalie. Maybe you'll find Mary out there. Yeah, I think Maria's fine by herself. He still hasn't accepted what had happened yet. She doesn't need anyone's help. Oh wait, she doesn't need anyone's help. But we need your help, Natalie. That's right, Natalie. Please help us. Let me sleep on it. Okay? No problem, little guy. Oh, man. Everyone shuffles off to their rooms, reading books and knitting to pass time. Oh. Ravenous. It means hunger, but like extreme. That's not a good sign at all. Maria. Something is approaching.
Onion!
Oh my god, it's an onion.
Don't be a crybaby, it's just me! Onion! Not going to be very sweet today. I'm worried about Natalie. He's going to cave to peer pressure. Can you stop him from leaving the cabin?
You don't answer, Onion.
Please? Don't you trust me? Got a fun factoid for you. Did you know that leaving out an unpeeled onion in your room absorbs bacteria? It will help you prevent colds and ward off viruses.
Onion!
That was a lie! The fun factoid of the myth, people actually believed in it in the 1500s. How embarrassing! Who would believe that?
There even was a doctor in 1919 who caused a surge of people believing it. Anyways, you know what smells like raw onion left in a room?
Oi, boy.
You! It's been a while since you last bathed, right? Can't remember. Could smell you before I came into the room. Got an achievement, don't be a crybaby.
Onion.
Yikes! So can you stop Natalie from leaving? I know he has cabin fever, but this is ridiculous. It will be impossible to stop a grown man from leaving.
Onion.
No, it will be impossible to stop a grown man from leaving.
Onion.
Please! We don't need another one stalking the hallways. Tapping on the windows. Crying through the radio. You have the sudden urge to scream. Why do you think I've been using the mouse holes to get around?
Onion.
Scared to death that I'll run into her? Don't make me tattle the cabbage about you. She can be a mean as potato if you get on her bad side.
Onion. Onion.
Just kidding. She great. Anyways, when the time comes, just tell Natalie you care about him and don't want him to leave. Even if it's for me. Okay? You can trust me. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to work on some new ice skates. They're made of butter slices, so I'll get to skate around the frying pan tomorrow.
Onion.
Later! An onion skating around the frying pan. That could go bad for him. Your mind finally managed to forget everything that happened. You fall asleep again, still ravenous. You have a strange dream. A fox is collecting payment in your living room. You despise him, so you put 2 dogs at the bottom of a sack, then 6 chickens on the top. The fox smiles at you and leaves. At some point in his journey, the fox will eventually open the sack, and the dogs tear the fox in half. Filled with such loathing for the fox, you gave him the only things you had for food, all of those chickens. As the snow piles up outside, you begin to eat whatever you can find. Pillowcases, candles, leather. One day you wake up and you have nothing left to eat. Absolutely nothing. Just an insatiable hunger. A few days later, you go mad and leave the cabin completely ravenous. A nearby tree looks like charred meat. Your iron teeth cut through the tree bark, tearing your gums apart by the splinters. Your mouth fills quickly with blood. Days later, a deer gallops by, the first creature in the woods to see your corpse. You wake up in a cold sweat. Something smells terrible in the living room. Someone puked in the corner. You wipe it with a rag to save them the embarrassment. Good morning.
Good morning, little guy.
Well, Natalie, what's your decision?
I barely slept last night.
Her whispers came through one of the holes in the floor. She kept telling me to come outside.
We don't want to rush you, little guy. But one of us puked last night.
So that what the smell was. And Natalie? My patience is wearing thin. I have a feeling like Natalie, whether we leave the cabin or not, will die. Because of exactly this. You have 1 hour to make a decision. What? Why so quickly? Because I'm not waiting around any longer. You can see the glint of Karen's knife under her dress. Best to watch out for that knife. The group disperses. Tension seems to be rising. You have 1 hour to kill. What do you do? I'll listen to the onion. I'll try and save Natalie. Maybe I can hide him in the basement. And utterly looks pale. I would too in this position, in his position. His two choices are death or death. Thanks for coming over. And utterly seems confronted by your presence. He might die, but at least you're friends. Gregor told me he hurt Maria. I'm sure Karen isn't being honest with me. Have you checked out the basement door closely? Every so often, I can see her peeking out at me through the hole. Shut up. I really don't want to drown outside. But at least I won't have to hear her tormenting me anymore. You know what's in the basement, don't you? Frankly, I have no idea. Wow. You aren't kidding anyone. You're just lying to yourself. Please get away from me. It looked like Natalie will remember that. No. I gotta save him. Good side. Of course you do. How else would you keep us free? And Natalie looked like he's going to puke. Please get away from me. I got a feeling Maria is closer than we think. And I'm not talking about her ghost. And Natalie, you okay, little guy? And Natalie looks pale, like he's going to pass out. And Natalie, have you made a decision? Yes. I'll help you all out. I promise. Thank you, Natalie. Big tears start rolling Gregor's cheek. I'll miss you, big guy. I miss you too, little guy. Thank you, Natalie. I know this wasn't easy, but it's for the best. Karen. Yes? Gregor looks at you expectantly. Did you want to say something to Natalie? Goodbye, Natalie. Goodbye, everyone. Good luck, little guy. I'm trying to think what I did wrong. I think going to Natalie and talking to him might have been a bad choice. Because the decision was actually not in his hands. It may have been in Karen's hands. Either that, or I had to get our relationship to the max beforehand. But then again, my relationship with Maria was really through the roof, and she died. See you soon, little guy. I guess we can all do now is wait. Good night. Karen goes to the bedroom to sleep. I didn't tell him the truth. Gregory's getting choked up. I didn't tell him. I'm missing him already. Gregor crawls up in the couch for the night, turning his back to you. You shut your eyes, quickly falling asleep. You hear a scraping from the floor. Surprisingly, there's gonna be more meat now. Found you. You explain how this isn't a good time right now. This is no laughing matter. I'm worried about Gregor. He's as tall as a tree, but as dumb as a brick. What's the root of that? Another cornbread classic. You're being very unpopular right now. That's tree reference. Did get it? Anyways, you need to protect Gregor from the red-haired woman. I think I already missed my window. But I'm gonna try. Cabbage called an emergency trumpet meeting and told me to give you this mission. No laughing matter achievement. Watch out for that knife and protect Gregor at all costs. Understood? You're not. It's the ease you can do, right? You tell Brad that pun didn't make sense. Haha, on a roll today. I'll see you around. Brad hops away, squeezing himself through the mouse hole with a small boop. You fall asleep, thinking about what Brad told you. You have a strange dream. It's lying at the table in front of you. You take off the glasses first, partially cracked, and set them down next to the workbench. Working the saw, you wrap the cuts in the old newspaper. Some of it gets soggy immediately, so you begin drying the cuts with a towel before wrapping. Much better. You hear something approaching, so you clench a fist and get ready to strike whatever's coming for you. You wake up in a cold sweat. You wake up in a completely different place. Did you sleepwalk or... Remember how I said, I'm just randomly gonna find meat. But this isn't random. Everybody's still asleep. This would be a nice surprise after yesterday's events. You decide you cook breakfast for everyone, cutting each slice fairly thin. Brown each side in the oven. Some smell is unique. Karen runs into the kitchen. What is that smell? Give it to me! No! You don't argue. Karen grabs a cutlet, burning her hands before bringing it to her mouth. Look! She hungrily devours it, barely chewing. She grabs another cutlet off the plate and eats it. You thought she was concerned with rationing. Gregor wakes up in the couch and heads into the kitchen. Oh god. Oh god. Already? Gregor looks conflicted, but he succumbs to the hunger. They always do. Gregor eats his food in a few bites, carefully grabbing a second cutlet. The tears start streaming down his face, but he doesn't make a sound. You join them in the meal, quickly consuming the meat on the table. I can think straight again. We'll be out of here in no time. No need to ration anything now. Karen is sounding more determined than before. I'm going to lie down on the couch. Try to keep this food down. Gregor crawls onto the couch, turning his back to you. Karen leans in to whisper, I'm glad Mary and Anthony and Natalie are gone. They were stopping us from bonding properly. How did you get so good at it? After one bite, it just made me feel whole again. Even with the nightmares, it's worth it. It took a few nights, but I fought back. And now it's all I can think about. I read the book on necropsy. The text is ancient, but the diagrams are beautifully drawn. Very descriptive. How many years did it take you to perfect the craft? Yeah, right. I used to tell Maria that you weren't funny, but that's not true. Sorry about that. You've grown on me. Karen pauses, deep in thought. You know Gregor can't swim, right? He'd be next to leave, but he doesn't stand a chance. They always seem to come back. Right? In one way or another. Why wait for him to come back? We can do it right now. Karen hands you a vial of liquid. I think you know what needs to be done. This is a strong anesthetic. Don't ask me how I found it. I want you to slip it into the Gregor's mug tonight. It's for the best. He won't feel any pain until he wakes up. All you have to do is stand back and let me work on it. Will you do this for me? Why don't you do it? I need to psych myself up for what's next. This is my first time and I want it to be perfect. No. Fine. Save that for a rainy day. I have everything set up by the couch. You don't have to watch. The restraints should be easy to apply myself. Gregor's strength is a farce. Gregor, hi. Hey, Karen. What are you doing? Untie me! Oh my god! This will be over soon, Gregor. Ah! Stop it! Ah! That was quick. You leave her alone, going into the bedroom and crawling into the bed. Anatoly slept in. You fell asleep. Anatoly? He fell asleep almost instantly. Oh. Wake up, sleepyhead. You were having a nightmare. Thanks for letting me practice last night. I think I did a great job. Made us all some breakfast this morning to celebrate. Breakfast with what? That's a surprise. Gregor already finished his. Took a few hours, but he caved. Come in. Let me show you. You get out of bed and head to the living room. Oh my fucking god. Oh my fucking god, man. Gregor, what did she do to you, man? Is he alive? Why? He's a little weak from the blood loss, but don't worry. Bandage him up like a field medic. My. What is it, Gregor? Where am I? God, you're stupid. Maybe if you spent as much time reading books as chopping wood, you would have noticed the pages I was bookmarking in the necropsy book. What are you talking about? Do I have to spell it out for you? You can't swim! How are we supposed to help us when you're immediately drowned? You'll sink like a fucking log! What? I put some of your limbs away for safekeeping. That leg was pretty tasty, huh? How's that for a big breakfast? And don't try to crawl away. If you leave this couch, I'll end you. I don't want any of it to go bad. So we'll have to eat that fresh arm when everything else is gone. Speaking of which, going to start cooking another chunk. I'll leave you two alone to chat. It's gone too far.
Hey. All I wanted to do is keep everyone alive and together. But I failed at that. Are you? Are you disappointed in me? Thank you. That means a lot to me. Growing up, nobody had to tell me to be big and strong. It just happened naturally. My mother always made sure I never went hungry. Seconds, thirds, fourths, and yet I complained my belly was not full. One day, on my way home from school, I was walking by the town inn and smelled something amazing coming right out of a pile of trash. I dug through it and discovered a bag. They threw away a meal that was fresh out of the oven for some reason. At least, that's what I thought. I became ill with food poisoning. I hugged the toilet and cried for hours. My mother rubbed my back and eventually carried me to bed. I learned nothing from that experience. Like everywhere else, I was just here for the food. I'll never get this foul taste out of my mouth. She's going to keep eating me. I'm sorry. Getting too lightheaded to hold a good conversation. She's going to torture me again. You know that, right? Can you cover me with a blanket? I've never been this cold in my life. This cabbage chills me to the bones. Or what's left of them. Please, consider it my dying wish. Gregor, I'm disappointed in myself. I'm sure I could have found a way to save everybody. But at the same time, I'm sure eating you was my plan from the start. Thank you. Much warmer now. Watch out for that knife. Okay? And
What the hell do you think you're doing?
you tell Karen that Gregor gave up.
We could have kept him alive for another week. What the fuck is wrong with you? No matter. Plenty of food left now.
Remember how I told you guys when we were hungry we were a little bit on edge? There's no excuse in that. You head to the kitchen to try and find the other remains. Gregor was such a nice guy from the start, man. He really doesn't deserve this. He doesn't deserve it. You look at the pile of dishes and your mind starts to wander.
Hello!
Let's play hide and seek. There's 5 of us to find. Can you find all of us? The red-haired woman should know where the basement key is. And I bet one of us is hiding out there. She's whittling something in the rocking chair right now. So watch out for that knife. Probably best to avoid the knife. Wait. Isn't that your knife? Why did you let her have it? As the leader of the Chomp Pets, it's important to you to find us all. So please don't forget any of us. Good luck! Cabbage rolls away. Why would Cabbage want to play hide and seek right now? Probably has something to show me. You have been neglecting the Chomp Pets lately. Can't hurt to play along with them, right? You go talk with Karen in the living room. Oh my gosh, can I grow my affinity with them? Look like Karen's just slicing away at a block of wood. Gregor's remains have been stored for safekeeping. Scrubbed all of the blood out of the couch to save you the trouble. Can I help you? Have you seen the basement key anywhere? Wasn't it in the kitchen? I haven't seen the key. Maybe one of the trumpets can help you find it in the kitchen. You decide to go look for it. I'm dead. I'm dead. Thankfully, there's not too many places to hide. Where do you want to check first? The cupboards. Looked but missed. Find the letter engraved. Who wrote this? Behind the woodpile. You notice an engraving on the cabinet on the wall with an X in the center. Is there treasure there? You hear some rustling around. Found her. She always picks the same hiding spot. Ah, you found me. Well done. As the leader of the trumpets, getting through mouse holes is a chore. Can't find any trumpets to push me through. So I guess you'll have to help me out. Cabbage just joined your party. 4 trumpets to go. What's next? Glad you asked. Keep it up. You'll be a member of the trumpets in no time. You can ask Cabbage about the basement key. Did you forget again? It's right in that nasty oven. There's nothing but a big pile of ashes in the oven. Oh wait, it really wasn't on her?
Yeah!
There it is! That's the room where we found potato. Check behind the cauldron for the other one. 2 basement keys? Let's go find Onion. He's in the bedroom. She's making hide and seek far too easy. Trumpets! Find Onion! I think I'm starting to understand who the trumpets are. Can't find the Onion, right? Found him! Don't be a crybaby. It's just me. Don't fear. Onion is here. Any other pun that I can think of to make myself annoying?
Onion!
Onion!
Onion! Onion!
Today, I'm sweet as a sugar cane.
Onion! 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 Boy, boy!
Honest? Whoa, your breath stinks. Stinky! Drenched head to toe in sweat, too? Could smell you coming from a mile away.
Onion!
Gross. Were you scared of the red-haired woman or something? Whoa.
Boy!
Sounds like I missed some messed up stuff. You get a pass. I'm sorry to hear about Maria and Natalie and Gregor. But yikes! Yikes! That's 3 people gone in less than a month? Not as bad as 5 people in one night though, right? I know exactly who the trumpets are. I would probably lose my lunch if I had to see that again. Anyways, didn't mean to be rude. I got your back.
Hello!
Glad to have you join us, Onion.
Boy, boy.
No problem. There's nothing else to do today. That's not true. I heard Break making noise in the living room. You know how loud he gets, right? The one and only Jumping. Let's go. You're getting a terrible headache, and your face is feeling numb, and your legs aren't moving. Oh well. You do some tired breathing exercises for a few minutes. That seemed to help. You suddenly feel a second wind coming in. Time to get that bread. You proudly strut up to the living room, happy to be alive. Bread. You hear bread come out of the mouse hole. He's taking his sweet-ass time. Found me. Everyone's secretly favorite trumpet. Bread. Don't you loaf me? My cousin Cornbread taught me that one. He has hundreds, no, thousands of terrible puns. He's my role model. So what do you need? You told Bread about gathering the trumpets together. That's a perfectly crumbly idea. Remember what happened last time? With potato? I mean, we all chose to be in that drawer, but this? You're going against the whole grain here. Do you really think we want to go back downstairs?
Cabbage.
Brett, we need your help finding potato.
Onion.
Miss you, big guy. Come here. Come out. I would never let the trumpets down. Ha ha ha. No need to pass my culinary quiz. I'm coming with you. That's great, Brett. Glad to have you on board, Brett.
Of course. Wait. Are you drilling?
Boy.
Are you thinking of eating us?
Cabbage!
Snap out of it. You already ate.
We're not good for that. You glutton.
Did they pass out?
Holy cow, get him up.
So heavy.
You stumble to your feet. Let's go find Raspberry and never speak of this again.
Boy.
I think I heard her over by the basement door.
Perfect.
Yes.
Chumpets!
Yes,
Mount out! Go, go, go! You have 3 chumpets in your party, 2 more to go. Your head feels like it's going to crack open. Your hands have gone completely numb. This one is lasting longer than the others. You focus on wiggling your toes for a minute. You didn't pass out the cold on the floor. 2 more to go. You can go check the basement door. Where is she? You feel a chill run up your spine. Goosebumps are all over your body. She's here. The birds outside turn silent. You could hear a pin drop. You can almost hear her breathing. You feel the sudden urge to scream. You can't sneak up on me. Don't ever try that again. Surprise! Find you, Raspberry! Oh wow, it's Barry! Nice to see you, Cabbage!
Oh, we wouldn't leave you behind, Raspberry.
Boy.
Honest, we need your help to find a potato! Our combined Chumpets detective skills say he's in the basement. Oh yeah? Let's find potato and get out of here. Raspberry has joined the party. 1 more to go. Don't worry, the basement is already unlocked. There's no need to use the key. Oh crap! The redhead woman is coming over here and she got a knife! Jump it! Let's get the fuck out of here! All 4 Chumpets escape. You're pretending to be studying the basement door. Oh, I gotta be pretending to save the game and actually save the game. You hear Karen creeping up behind you. Found you. You can see the knife out of the corner of Karen's dress. I don't know if I can wait any longer. Show me where you keep hiding the meat. Let's tear them apart, piece by piece, just like Gregor. Karen looks like she's ready to bury the knife into you. Gregor died today. You still have Gregor left, don't you? How many days since... What do you do? I can't tell her about the Chumpets. So that's why it's locked. Open it. I have to see the room. Thank you. I'll bring up some cutlets up and we'll have a great dinner. Okay? See you soon. That might bought me a little bit more time. Karen descends into the staircase, into the darkness, into. Did you just lock the door? You block out the screams of rage and bargaining. Given enough time, they will end. You crawl into the bed and go to sleep. No, there is still potato to find. I don't know how much time I have. You slept in today. The pounding has completely stopped. You really need to go to the bathroom. You decide to open your eyes. You must have walked to the bathroom last night. The glow of the candle is oddly comforting. I might be out of time. The candle blew out. Door is locked. You find a flashlight in the corner of the bathroom and turn it on. Tutorial, you're in the dark, but you're not alone. Yeah, of course I'm not alone. I have the trumpets with me. Click on the objects around the bathroom to get more information or find hidden clues. If you're stuck, just wait a little bit to see the glint of the objects to inspect around the bathroom. Just move around your cursor to search the room. This bathtub is filthy. It will need more than elbow grease to get these stains out. You notice a note underneath the bathtub. May 4th, 1794. This notice shall serve as a summons to Zakopane Courthouse. You are being accused of the following crimes. Public disturbance. 2. Foul language and demeanor. 3. Refusal to testify at previous court cases. And 4. Refusal to agree to the search warrant of property. Your hearing is scheduled for October 20th. Failure to attend will result in your immediate arrest and penalties up to hanging. Sincerely, Judge Kosteschi, Louise. You take the court summons letter with you. 2 notes out of 5, huh? Anyway, it's time to find potato. Someone forgot to restock the toilet paper. Beyond disgusting, this is truly the scariest thing you've ever seen.
Cabbage! Hello!
Hello? Are you locked in the bathroom again? Again? You tell her about the candles being blown out. Haha. Maybe you just need to try wiggling it a little bit. Like you're choking it. Sometimes the simplest method is the best one. Now, if you excuse me, need to conduct the next secret trumpet meeting. Later. You quickly make your escape. While getting locked in the bathroom is enough excitement for one day, you get under the covers and quickly fall asleep. Wake up, sleepyhead. Karen, just 5 more minutes. Give me 5 more minutes before you murder me. Karen? Use your imagination again. Oh, thank God. Karen can still be alive, right? Somebody's at the door. You grip the doorknob tightly, getting ready for what's next. That can't be the real Gregor. You determine the hunt has officially begun. Some spirits move on immediately, others linger, and some stop at nothing to give you a heart attack, or get you to fall down a flight of stairs, or cause you to wander into an early demise. No way of knowing which one the group will choose. The rain has stopped outside. You decide to go look out the window. The floodwaters are completely gone. Karen would appreciate the good news, but not after locking her up in the basement. No good reason to leave the cabin. Plenty of food here now. You've been so busy you've forgotten to eat. You head to the kitchen for a snack. Karen's hiding spot was too obvious. You take a few bites of meat. You lost more of your humanity. Not fresh enough. Oh well. You decide to crawl back into bed and get a little extra sleep after eating Gregor. You have a strange dream. The clouds have parted. The rain has gone away. You wake up in cold sweat. Oh, it's over. I literally survived. Is this another trick or... Good morning? She's still sticking around. You head to the kitchen to get breakfast. Your food is gone. That noise was coming from the living room. And Natalie? Nobody's here. Some deep scratches are dug into the wood by the couch. Something is approaching. What's making that sound? It sounded like it was coming from the basement door. You go over to investigate. A cold wind is blowing through the hole in the door. You get the goosebumps all over your arms. Is this a... I knew exactly where to look if something were to happen. You wake up in a cold sweat. It's raining again. They're taunting you with the dreams of a sunny day. You get out of bed and head to the living room. You can smell Gregor here. Should you have intervened with Karen, it probably wouldn't have changed the outcome. Really? It also might have led to your death. Really? The couch is still comfortable, even after Gregor imprinted on it. You decide to take a nap, which quickly turns into a sleep. You must have woken up too early today. The cabin living room is pitch black. You pick up a flashlight nearby to explore the darkness. And Natalie? The first note you ever received. Thinking about the messenger puts a smile on your face. Is there something behind the camera? No. You notice a note sticking out of one of the books. I know you've been ignoring my other letters, so I am begging you, please bring back my daughter safely or I will need to get the others involved. I have left payments outside the door and will pay any price. Please let her go. We don't have to involve anyone in this. Anyone else. You take the mother note with you. You decide to lay back down on the couch to get the rest of your sleep. Days are just a rolling. I miss Maria, I miss Gregor, and I miss Natalie. Nobody really cares about her. You slept and walked in. You can hear Potato mumbling in the drawer. Oh, it's you again. Tell me, in the first week with the red-haired woman and the others, where did you sleep? You think for a minute, but come up with nothing. It's worse than I imagined. If I can be honest, it was truly horrific to witness. Still nothing? You would routinely collapse in the middle of the hallway, sleepwalking into halls or worse, going down into the basement. I can't believe you haven't broken your neck on those stairs. You seem to survive almost anything. Do I have that right? Must be that addiction to meat. Or something else. Would you share that secret with me? You tell Potato the secret. Whoa! Didn't think you'd be foolish enough to tell me. I think he already knows. Huh. Still have some common sense left in you. Tell me, what was the plan after locking her in the basement? Having her starve to death? With 3 corpses already down there? Plenty of rainwater? She'll be much stronger than the last time you saw her. Go downstairs, put an end to this. I don't care if you come back alive. Maybe the red-haired woman will still let all of us move on. Or will she act like you? You ignore Potato, head into the basement door. Oh god, I don't know what's behind the basement door. You quickly do the math in your head and determine Karen will be dead in the basement. Maybe there is some slight miscalculations. She's Karen after all. It's been enough days, right? She has more food than you, buddy boy. It's just a staircase, nothing to be scared of. An achievement got, nothing to be scared of. You begin your descent. Something is approaching. Can you hear me? I've been down here the entire time. It's so good to see you again. There's plenty of bread down here. Why aren't you saying anything? I'll never forgive what you did. You put a Natalie through hell. You desecrated my corpse. You gave them that disgusting hunger. All of that is water under the bridge now. And Natalie's down here. Come have some bread with us. They always try things like this. Their anger, concentrated near their grave, leads to tricks and traps. You're not falling for this soul trick. Why aren't you listening to me? There's bread down here. Loaves of it. Fine. I won't stop you from finding the others down here. One piece of advice. Beware of Karen. She's ill beyond repair. Gregor will try to talk you out of reaching the room. And Natalie will try to talk you into leaving the cabin. And Karen will rip the flesh from your bones. We'll talk again. Thank you for being kind to me. I didn't believe the whispers at first. At first? Feel Mario leaving the staircase. You go deeper into the abyss. The walls down here, they're dirt and soot. Something is approaching. It's Gregor, my boy. Or Natalie. I'm glad I found you. The rain outside has stopped. Did you hear that knocking? Another trap. Everyone's upstairs and wants to leave. Maria was worried sick about you. You tell Gregor about speaking with Maria just now. Guess I can't lie to you, huh? You just stood there while Karen took my limbs. Doing nothing. Are you frightened by her? If you won't come upstairs with me, please turn on the light when you reach the room. I want to see the look on your face when that light bulb turns on. Can you do that for me? Thank you. Thanks for letting me lick the bowls clean. Bowls. That was enough to keep him at bay. We'll meet again. Soon. Beware Karen. And tell little guy I love him. You feel Gregor leaving the staircase. You descend deeper into the abyss.
The air pressure down here feels greater. You're getting closer to Karen with each step. Something is approaching. And it's a little guy. Oh, I thought you'd still be fending off that gluten Gregor right now. You tell Natalie about meeting with Gregor. Oh, I was going to try to see if you wanted to pick onions with me. Guess there's no fooling you, huh? You survived this long and now you'll need to fend off Karen. I can't tell you if I'd rather have you or her sticking around down there here. You ask Natalie where Karen is. Oh, she's just below us. Waiting to devour you. Karen's been practicing on her butchering again. Maybe she'll start with your arms. Down here? The whispers have told me about you. I can't even believe some of the things you've done. Worse than any war crime. So many whispers about those sorts of things. So many whispers down here. It ends at the bottom. Karen might be alive down here, but you won't. See you again soon. Something doesn't feel right. You feel around the wall blindly and locate the light switch.
Hello.
What? Cabbage? You've come so far. Proud of you.
Cabbage.
As a leader... Sorry, I sneeze usually when I hear bullshit. As the leader of the Chompettes, I wanted to let you know, we have your back. No matter what happens down here, just call out to us and we'll be there.
Boy.
Honest.
Boy.
Wouldn't let you die here. When you least expect it, we'll roll with you. You can sneak up on me. Never.
Raspberry.
But sneaking up on you? Extremely easy. Super easy. Easy. Are you deaf? Raspberry?
Onion.
That was pretty cruel, even for me. Your ears have so much dirt in them, they could probably grow potatoes. We'll have to work on those jokes, Potato. Sure. Weren't you hiding in the basement room? Circumstances have changed. I wouldn't miss a killing for the world. Just remember,
Cabbage,
down here,
cabbage.
you can call on us. We'll help you out in a bind. And if you get lost down here later, please avoid the room where it happened. I can't speak for the others, but I'd like to forget what happened there. I don't think we'll ever forget about that, Potato. But thank you for coming along with us. I wouldn't call it for a change of heart, because you really never had one, Potato. You should have rotted down there, but I'm glad you're here to help. Wish I had a joke here, but what you did was no joking matter. That's enough. Trumpets! Let's help out! Go, go, go! The trumpets get into position behind you, ready for what's next. You feel around the wall blindly and locate the light switch. Took you long enough. Let's end this! Karen readies the knife, and she looks really cool. She looks really good with that knife too. How does she look this good? Why does everybody look like they're starving, but she looks fine? Oh yeah, because she's eating meat. Karen readies the knife. You're going to taste better than Gregor. Oh, you stabbed me? I didn't feel it. Should have kept the door locked. Listen, I'ma smack you and we forget about this.
You barely land a soft punch. Karen lunges at you. You've started to bleed. Karen licks her lips. Will you fit in the cauldron? I will dodge. Dodge this! Blood is running down your side. Karen licks her lips. Look like Karen is plotting her next attack. Hey, as leader of the Choppets, can't leave you hanging. All of us are ready to help. I see you've ignored my warning to watch out for that knife. Please survive this fight. We want you to play hide and seek again. Choppets, help out! Go, go, go! Cabbage has filled you with hope. You gain 5 HP. Karen is mumbling to herself. Karen catches her breath. Karen readies the knife. You're going to taste better than Gregor. Should have kept the door locked. Okay, how the heck do I win this? You barely Karen lunges at you. Jesus Christ, what's going on? You started to bleed. Karen licks her lips. Will you fit in the cauldron? I don't know, will I? Hey, it's me, Onion. No crying down here, okay? Even if you die. Let me look at those wounds. Blood? Gross. Do you know I kill bacteria? Your eyes begin to water. What did I tell you about crying and myths? You get this, champ. Good luck. Onion words make you feel a little better, but only a little bit. This was the ideal time to talk to the Chompets. Karen looks confused though. Look like Karen is plotting her next attack. I don't really care who dies down here. You're both pretty awful. Good luck. But those words cut pretty deep. It does make you feel a little better though. Karen is mumbling to herself. Karen catches her breath. Karen readies her knife. I'm secretly everyone's favorite Chompet, but I owe all of this to my cousin Cornbread, Razel. You point out that Razel was one of the Onion's relatives. Oh, it's getting harder and harder to recall any long-term memories. Is Onion my sibling? Oh, good luck. Bread, you gain 5 HP. Karen lunges at you. Are you talking to yourself again? Karen clenches the knife. Karen licks her lips. Will you fit in the cauldron? Well, the last Chompet. No. I'm glad it's Raspberry that I'm gonna die to. Or I'm gonna talk to Raspberry before I die. Always Mary Raspberry is a lie created by Cabbage. You know me by now, and I've never acted Mary. Correct? She's correct. You know, I'm dying, but she's correct. Are you going to devour the red-haired woman when you win? Yeah. I mean, I'm a little hungry. Or leave her corpse to stink in the basement. Huh. That's actually pretty tempting. We both know the answer. Let's end this. You feel a flood of emotion from the Chompets. Anger, sadness, joy, determination. Your bones feel quicker, like your reflexes are improved. Chompets have imbued a second wind inside you. You get ready for Karen's next attack. Hey, Karen. Nice health bar. You had 2 of those. Didn't see that one coming though. Health bar means nothing if you get one-shotted. I said it once in one of my videos. Karen quickly stumbles down the hallway, turning left at the end. Just keep your composure and you're good. You're hobbling after her, but the room is pitch black. The rotted decay flesh here is nauseating. You can hear the small echoes of Karen's footsteps disappearing below, making this room feel enormous. You can't see their eyes, but you can feel them. You're being watched. The staircase in the center winds downwards, spiraling into the abyss. You're getting lightheaded again. Gravity almost gets the best of you a few times as you work your way to the bottom. Your shoes stick to the floor when you reach the bottom. The smell of mildew and something rotten makes you gag. You can barely make out the outlines of door frames in each direction. You head east, opening the door. You feel Karen's presence close by. Yo, what the fuck? Yo, and And Natalie, what the fuck happened to you? And why is Maria smiling? They have stabs mark on them. Are they... Did they not die to the flood? Back together again. Drowned and dissected. The Butcher of Hope has returned. Where's Karen? Lost in the abyss. Her rage blinds her. Ravenous, completely ravenous. She will never be able to move on. Bound to this cabin by you, she will never escape. Those that die in the cabin are bound to the cabin. 2 different rules. Fleeing west did nothing. Victims will always gravitate towards this cabin. Always find a way to you. You wretch. You abomination. You horror. Turn on the light and savor your inhumanity. Turn on the light. Oh, my belly just grumbled. Turn on the light. Turn on the light. Reap what you have sown. Maria and Natalie, Gregor, Karine, I'll never forget you. No! No, I wanted to see that! No! Is he turning on the lights on and off again? Vocals by Yub? I did not expect Yub to be involved in this game. I don't know if he's turning the lights on and off again, or if it's literally just echoing at this point. Literally savoring. I wish we could find more letters. By the way, very good ending video that was. Or not, I'm not sure if it was the ending video we saw, but that little animation at the end with the knife was really cool. Dear Dream Studios, what the heck have you been eating to come up with a game like this? And a better question, is there other endings? Because I'll load. Listen, when I started the video, I didn't actually meant it when I said it doesn't go dark at all. You know, it goes dark a little bit. It gets a little dark at the end. But I didn't expect it to be this dark. I'm gonna be straight up frank with you. I didn't know it's gonna be anything like this. And I enjoyed every little moment. The thing that scared me the most was when Natalie started snapping and talking like a ghost. Oh, damn. There's a lot of YouTubers here. And me, I guess. Achievement got not done yet. Yeah, I presume there is probably more endings. You were talking upstairs. Thieves? You grab your flaying knife and silently go upstairs. You'll eat well tonight. The four look completely shocked at the sight of you. She doesn't look like she has the courage to speak. We've been lost for a few days. Your cabin is the only hut we've seen out here. Can we stay here for a few nights? You clear your throat and ask the question you've asked 1,000 times before. Did you come on your own free will, or were you sent? We were technically sent, and Natalie? We came on our own free will. The woman looked like confident in her answer. They answered incorrectly.
You clear your throat again, coughing profusely. You may stay in the cabin until you're ready to leave. The group look terrified of you. As they should be. Well, wasn't that trail steep? Yeah. The group finally returns to normal. It's forced, but they attempt to save face. That walk was brutal, but this cabin is amazing. Full kitchen, running water, it has really everything. Finally, a place I can read a book in a piece. You already know the rest of the story now, right? Wrong. Welcome to Nightmare Mode. If you survive, you will gain some additional insight to the world of cooking companions, as well as unlocking New Game Plus and Chumpets only events. This mode is mostly just a joke. Oh. Though I do want to figure out more. If you make it to the end, you'll unlock the Chumpet Cabin courses, a Chumpet only event free of humans. For the true cooking companion experience, this mode should be played in a pitch black room with headphones. If you still need to max out your relationship, don't worry, you'll get the opportunity to do so in New Game Plus. You should really make a manual save right now, don't hesitate. That's exactly what I was gonna do. Thank you for getting this far. Your bravery is commendable and will be rewarded. Thank you for playing. Dear Dream Studios. Oh, almost forgot. Nightmare mode activated. You wake up at the bathroom again. This is my room. Do you see how dark it is? Out of all the places, I didn't thought I'm gonna end up here. Okay, just looked it up after the video. There is 7 different endings. So if you would like to see all of them, leave a like in the video and I'll definitely give it a shot. Well, this actually continues to more story bits. Lots of blood, by the way. I just noticed. I tried to close the game and that just happened? Okay. Okay. Okay, hello there, Maria? No, welcome, welcome. I really do appreciate you. So, I wanted to say that I leave a like in the video if you'd like me to see me play the Nightmare mode, because it seemed to contain more story bits and a lot more blood. And also, I believe there might be a different outcome to the ending. I'm not entirely sure. There could be, because I seen something in the achievements. Technically, I only have half of the achievements of the game, which means there is almost a half entirely. Oh, Gregor is so cute. There is almost a half that I haven't seen. I say almost because some of these achievements are just like max out the recipes, do this stuff, do that. But man, cooking companions, listen, I nearly called it a day and I was about to go to sleep. But I'm happy I played this. It's 6 a.m. I played this in the middle of the night and it was such a great experience. I got so into it, giving each one their own unique voice. And I don't know, man. I don't know, it just kind of tore me apart to see how everything goes downhill as soon as Maria left. And man, oh man, what a game. I'm not disappointed. Totally happy I got it. And also the description of the game said I'm probably gonna be scared after closing the game. It's a Steam game. I don't know if it's gonna run after I close it, but if it will, I'm sure Steam will let me know. By the way, I hear whispering right now. So I think now might be a good time to call it off. I really do. I mean, just look at these fucking things. I didn't even see that before. What the heck is that? And that's a thing I haven't seen before too. Oh man, I want to unlock everything. I want to unlock literally everything. Last thing I want to say is thank you guys so much for sticking with me till the end. Thank you very much for watching the whole thing. I really appreciate it. And with that, I think it's better if I close the game so it doesn't do anything strange, and hope that it doesn't open back up mysteriously, because there was something in the description saying that I probably will worry when I close this game. So hopefully it's nothing too bad. Thank you so much for watching. I'll catch you in my other videos. Bye-bye.